Hey guys, a while back I made a video on how to virtualize Kali Linux, and while a lot of people are having a lot of luck with that, I'm having several people messaging me saying that they're having issues. So what I want to do today is actually make another video showing a much more straightforward, less intense approach on how to install Kali Linux. And basically what we're going to do is download a pre-built VirtualBox file that we'll just import and it will just work basically. So what we're going to do is, of course, like always, switch camera angles so we can look at my desktop. I'll show you the process of downloading the file, importing the file, getting it configured correctly. There are a couple of tweaks that we'll have to make, and then once that's done, Kali Linux will be up and running without any of the guesswork or trouble or any of that kind of stuff. Like I said, let's go ahead and switch camera angles and get started. Okay, so here we are on my desktop. Now we can see that we're on the Offensive Security website, and there's actually a specific page that I will link to in the description down below that will take you down to this area right here, where we've actually got three different options, and these are going to be pre-built images for VMware, VirtualBox, and Hyper-V. So for the sake of this tutorial, we are going to use the VirtualBox image just to kind of keep consistent with the other videos that I've done in the past. So once we're on the right tab, which of course in this case is the VirtualBox tab, we're going to be given a couple of options, either the 64 or the 32-bit. Chances are that if you've got new hardware, you'll want to download the 64-bit version of this. From there, it's going to have two more options, and we're going to be able to download the OVA file, which is the file that we're going to import, directly from their server. Or you can download a torrent file and use peer-to-peer networking to download that file as well. I'm a bigger fan of using the torrent files. Like I've mentioned in previous videos, if we end up using the server that we're looking at here, it costs them resources and money, whereas torrenting doesn't cost the organization anything. So do whatever is more comfortable for you, but just make sure that you choose one of those two options and download the OVA file that we're going to need for this setup. Okay, so once you've got your file downloaded to your computer, we can go ahead and minimize this window, and then we'll jump over to VirtualBox, and we're going to go ahead and click File and Import instead of New this time. And then we're going to click on this little icon over here with the little folder on it, and we're going to go over to my mouse storage drive, and then into here, into there, and then we're going to find this open virtualization format archive, and we're going to go ahead and open that and click Next. Then you're going to get a list of all of the specs that it was set up with. All of these are fine for right now. We will make a change later, but for right now, all of these should be fine. Okay, so there we are about a minute and a half later. We've got this new machine down here, and by default, I'm actually going to run this, and it's probably going to fail and throw an error message, and that's kind of important because I've had a lot of people saying that they've been getting error messages. I wasn't able to reproduce it, then I was when I did this, so this may actually help some other people out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and run it just like normal, and it should fail pretty quickly. And there we go. It says failed to open a session for the virtual machine. And if we open this up where it says details here, it says implementation of the USB 2 controller not found. There's a good chance that you're going to run into that same thing. And if you did, or if you do anyway, here's what you do to fix it. We're going to go ahead and click OK. That's fine. We don't care. We're going to right click on the machine that we just imported, and we're going to go to Settings. And then we're going to go down to this USB option down here, and we're going to say enabling USB is fine, but we want to use the 1.1 version for this. Then we can go ahead and click OK, and then we can run it again, and if everything works correctly, we should just get right into Kali Linux at that point. Good sign. Cool, so we can go ahead and hit enter, or you can just let it sit there for the 10 seconds or whatever. Either one's fine. So now it's going through its startup process. This is all good stuff. Getting a login screen, cool. So by default, username is root, R-O-O-T, and we're going to click next. And this one was actually set up with a password when it was exported or put together and exported. It's actually listed right here, which is TOOR, which is going to be root backwards. So we'll just do TOOR and click sign in. And then we'll be brought right to the desktop. So getting this set up is actually pretty easy, grand scheme of things. Also, if you followed my other tutorial, you'll notice that we actually skipped a bunch of stuff here. Normally we just get this little box in the middle of the screen, and then we've got to do the install of the guest edition CD and that sort of thing. With this setup, you don't have to do that. They've already got all of that stuff taken care of for you. So this is a much easier way to do it, but you don't necessarily get the same experience of going through and doing all of the installs and getting familiar with the command line, that sort of thing. If you're new to virtualization and that sort of thing, I recommend that you actually go through the process at least once or twice of the actual install process of downloading the ISO, going through all the configuration and that sort of thing, just so you can get familiar with that. If you're familiar with it and you're comfortable with it, or if you don't care to learn all of that stuff, you can definitely go this route. Like I said, it's much easier. There's a lot less hassle of going through all of those steps and all of that kind of stuff. So because of all of the issues that I've been hearing from people, I wanted to show this as an alternate way to install Kali Linux. So if you found this video helpful and you like these alternate methods of doing things, do me a favor, give the video a thumbs up. It really would help me out a ton. Also, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. I make videos like this all of the time. This one, there's a big gap between my last video and this video. I've had some stuff going on, but anyway, I'm back. I'm making videos again. And like I said, if you're interested in this kind of stuff, definitely subscribe for when I release more of this kind of stuff. So let me know in the comments down below. Do you prefer the quick and easy way? Do you like to do it the way you're gonna get your hands a little dirty with some command line and that sort of thing? I'd love to know what your preferred method is in the comments down below. But as always, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up here. Thanks for your time. I always appreciate your support, and I'll talk to you in the next one.